Despite throwing a pick six at the start of the night, Lamar Jackson may have played the game of his life yesterday. The former MVP scored 3 total touchdowns and erased an 11-point fourth-quarter deficit to get his first career win over Patrick Mahomes in 4 attempts. And afterwards, Lamar said, quote, "It feels good to get that monkey off our back." Agree. Shannon, how much more sold on Lamar are you after last night?
Skip, I've been sold on him. I just think his consistency, in order to be the type of quarterback that he wants to be consistent, that's what he's got to do. It's the routine. Skip, after he threw those interceptions, he went 15 of 19, 215, a touchdown, and then went 80-plus yards rushing the ball and 2 touchdowns. Is that not consistent? That's what we need to see from Lamar. Now he's going to need to transfer that come playoff time, because come playoff time, teams going to make you beat them with your weakness. What do teams do to Lamar to neutralize him? Come playoff time, they take away his legs. Okay, now can you throw the ball? Even if you have to get on the move to do it. He looked good throwing the ball. The jump pass that he threw to Hollywood Brown when they missed the assignment. Skip, the ball was coming out his hand. Andrews, Sammy Watkins, Hollywood. He was just making throw after throw after throw. I mean, he was sensational throwing the football.
By the way, we should let's see that, because
the jump pass to Hollywood.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he pulled it off, but it was Mahomes-esque, right? Because he's kind of going sideways. Yes. And he got enough mustard on it to get it to him, but they had completely blown the coverage.
Assignment. Yeah. But that's the thing. He's like, hey. Whew. Like you said earlier, he had Hollywood for a touchdown, and he overshot him.
He did.
This is the consistency. And the thing that you like about Lamar, what makes the great quarterbacks great, Skip? They might not be having a great game, but in the big moments. You remember the Tom Brady's first Super Bowl? He wasn't playing that particular well, but in the moments that he had to have it, you go back and look at history, you look at the great quarterback, it's moments in which quarterbacks have made the name for themselves. The drive. John Elway didn't play particularly well, but when you go 98 yards in under 2 minutes, you make a name for yourself. What Lamar
at Cleveland in a
playoff game. Mm-hmm. Now Lamar is going to have to do this. He slayed one dragon. He slayed one demon.
He did.
He's going to have to do it again, but this time he's going to have to do it in the playoffs. I like what I saw. Being as undermanned as they were, for him to say, you know what? I got this.
Yep.
Get on your boys' back. I'm going to bring us home.
Okay.
Even though I know who's on the other side. Hell yeah, I want to go for it, coach. And I'm going to get it. And he got it.
As his little buddy from Miami, Marquise Brown, said after the game, Lamar preached on it all week. We are going to do this. And yet he got off to such a horrendous start with 2 interceptions in the first quarter.
Right.
And he missed Hollywood with the deep pass, Marquise Brown. And it's such a disastrous start that most quarterbacks, even some of the great quarterbacks, would have unraveled on Sunday Night Football up against your arch nemesis, where you've already admitted after the third loss to Mahomes to fall to 0-3, you already admitted there are kryptonite. Well, if you just fell to your kryptonite in the first quarter, a lot of quarterbacks would they'd go in the tank psychologically. They'd just be shot the rest of the game.
But, Skip, in a playoff game, you throw 2 interceptions in the first quarter, team hang 24 points on you. Because you see what happened, that it just snowballed.
Well, one of them got pick sixed already. I mean, so one of them, you just gave him 7 right away.
Yeah, it gets out of hand early, and you feel deflated like we're at home, but give them, hey.
And remember, Kansas City thrives on Honey Badger because he is their Mahomes of the defense, right?
Correct.
And so he made 2 huge Sunday Night Football plays, and I thought it was over because the one thing Baltimore has not been able to do is to come back from a big deficit, because you almost have to think about throwing the football more than you want to throw the football. And they were all the way down to 35-24. That's with 6:50 left in the third quarter. And they just stayed true to themselves. And it was Lamar who said, not in my house, not on my watch, not now, not ever. I've got this. And I get chills talking about it because I've always told you what I love about Lamar Jackson is his competitive backbone. He will compete at the highest level. He will refuse to lose. He is a baller. He's a gamer. And especially the higher the stakes in the fourth quarter, he will beat you. Remember, he was trying to beat the Raiders single-handedly,
Right.
and unfortunately that single hand didn't hold on to
Right.
the football because he had a big fumble lost early fourth quarter, and then he had one late when he got strip sacked.
And that's what killed you, Skip. Turnovers are not created equal.
Okay.
Because he turned the ball over. The Chiefs and the Ravens both turned the ball over twice. But one turned the ball over twice in the first quarter.
Yep. Other second half. Yep.
And that's the difference in your ball.
Okay. And Mahomes had a terrific night except for one play. And he reopened the door. It happened, if we could see it, with 2:03 left in the third quarter. It's 3rd and 12, and he says, I've made these plays before. Let me try this one. And it just went sideways.
Skip, but he had his head turned to because if he was looking, the guy all he had to do was cut right. Cut right, Skip, look where he go. Look at all that space.
I agree. But when you have the greenest light in the history of light, then you just think, I'm magic. I can pull this off.
Right.
And that was the play that opened the door and then opened the floodgates for a rushing attack. And they came back from 35 to 24 down late third quarter running the football.
Yep.
He threw it some, and to your point, he was accurate, deadly accurate.
Yes.
And yet, I'll be the first to say, is Lamar ever going to be the prettiest thrower of the football?
No.
Absolutely not.
Right.
But he won the MVP throwing it accurately.
Yes.
He throws darts. That's what he does.
Oh, I forgot, Skip, and he was 15 or 19, and you remember one of those was a drop.
Yeah, it was. That's right.
Sammy Watkins dropped one. He put his head like, my bad, dog.
Yep.
That's on me.
That is
but Skip,
correct.
if you look at these numbers, Lamar averaged 6.7 a carry. Williams averaged 5.9. Latavius Murray averaged 4.0. Freeman 14.5. Only Ricard, which was a one carry for 2 yards, in which he got
He's
a first,
the fullback.
was the fullback.
Yeah.
Other than that, Skip, look at these numbers: 6.1, 251, 41 carries.
It's who they are. It's what they do.
It's
Okay.
Skip, at some point in time, Skip, they lined up. They got 7. They can't stop with 7. They drop 8. They can't stop with 8. Now they basically play zero coverage, get 9 guys in the box, and they still can't stop them.
Can't stop them, and they're without their all-pro left tackle, Ronnie Staley, as you predicted on Friday. Sounds like he's not going to make it, and he did not make it, and it didn't matter.
And they still run the ball like that. And you know what? We want Lamar to throw the ball. That's what we're not going to let him run.
Yep.
We're going to come down here. We're not going to let them run. We're going to put 8 guys in the box, and they're not running the football.
Okay.
And they ran the football for 251.
And they have still been without their first pick in the draft, Rashad Bateman, and it didn't matter.
Right.
Because he just said, I got who I got.
Right.
And I'm going to use Mark Andrews and Sammy Watkins and Marquise, and we'll be okay. And they were okay.
The difference is, Skip, down the stretch, everybody made plays.
They did.
Remember, because on that Monday night game, he had Mark Andrews for a first down. Mark Andrews dropped it, and the very next play, Lamar gets stripped.
True.
So that's just how quick it can turn around, Skip.
Okay.
In this game here, guys make plays. That's what you got to have. Skip, in a situation like this, you need guys to make plays. Your quarterback's going to do it. He's going to but you got to make plays for him. And sometimes the ball might not be perfect.
Yep.
But you got to make plays for him. Give the Ravens credit. Like I said, look, I know what Lamar has done. It's hard for me to see a scenario. He had a more impressive win than what we saw last night.
Greatest game he ever played under the circumstances. 0-3 against that guy.
Right.
And I love it that was the 4th time in his career he's gone 200 plus and 100 plus throwing and running.
Most in history.
And that broke the tie with Russell Wilson and Cam Newton, each who had 3 of those kind of games.
Right.
He now has 4. Nobody's ever had that. He has now tied our man Michael Vick. That was his 11th 100-yard plus rushing night or day. And
he about to sit that out there so far.
well, I mean, he's just going to blow past Michael Vick.
Yeah.
And when we've had Michael on the show, he's just been the first to say, hey, he's faster than me. He's shiftier.
I definitely, I don't know, Skip, it's just flat out foot speed that he's faster, but as far as elusive, I mean, it's like he's running, he can stop on a dime, go by, take off again. He's full speed. I mean, like, as soon as he stops and starts, he's out the gates again.
Yeah.
And it's like did he dip himself in grease? I mean, did he check it for silicone or something? Because nobody gets him down the first crack at him.
Nobody gets him down. I used to say the Michael Vick experience in Atlanta, once he got in the open field, I'd never seen anything like that before. But Michael is a much smaller man than Lamar. Lamar runs with authority. And again, I don't know how long you can last in this league playing that way, because that's the way he has to play.
Right.
Do you think he was sore when he tried to climb out of bed this morning?
Oh, yeah.
I believe he took
Yeah.
a lot of punishment last night.
But Skip, he's getting better as long as he do like Russell Wilson and Kyler, get down, don't take those shots. I would prefer he, last night he tried to run over one guy, to try to send a message, get his team fired up. I would advise him from doing that because he had already had the first down.
Yeah.
But he's getting better at getting down, not taking those shots because they treat him like a running back. Because you ain't no, I understand. I see you got on number 8. But that quarterback can't do what you do. So I'm going to treat you like I would treat Derrick Henry. I'm going to try to tee off on you.
Obviously, they lost their first and second string running backs, and they've lost Marcus Peters, and he just said, I got this.
Yes.
So
Given the circumstance, Skip, and what he's up against, he was marvelous.
Lamar Jackson is rare.
Yeah.
And it was quite a performance. Did the Cowboys prove they are also legit, or did they just get lucky yesterday? This should be interesting.
Lucky.
Stick around for it next.